Hello everyone, I'm Rachel Tessman from stampyourartout.com and I'm here to bring you another live paper crafting class here on YouTube. It's Wednesday, October 6th, 2021 at 11 a.m. Central Time as I'm broadcasting to you live. And I have a huge smile not only on the outside but on the inside because I had some social media issues recently for about 8 or 9 days, and they are cleared up as of today. So Facebook was just having a lot of glitches with my business account, and for those of you that got my newsletter last night, it's all resolved. It's crazy. I can post again. I'm happy. I'm a very happy girl today. So on that note, we're going to have another class today, and this one's going to involve two different cards, and they're both fun fold cards. I love my fun folds. The first one is very simple, and the second one is a little bit more elaborate. It's going to be using, both of them are going to be using the Blackberry Beauty suite of products. I love seeing everybody's names chime in. Hello, everybody. Oh, thank you so much for chiming in. This is fun. I love lives. It's like a party. Okay, so Blackberry Beauty suite. Why am I featuring this suite? Well, first of all, I did this suite. I created a bunch of products from this suite of products. Bunch of projects from this suite of products when the new catalog came out, the mini catalog, the July through December mini catalog, and it was my featured suite for one of my events in July. And so I created and created and created. And if you're following my blog, here, let me pull up my blog. There it is, stampyourartout.com. If you follow my blog, you know that you've seen many a thing created with the papers and the stamp set and the dies. And but today I'm going to show you my last two projects that I had shown at this event back in July, and these are like the more wow cards. These are the fun fold cards. So I know, yay, everything's good today. It's a wonderful day and the sun is shining. So we're going to do a pop-out window wow card, and we're going to be doing a gatefold closure card with magnets on it. So sit back and enjoy. Or if you're live with us right now, you can log into your Google or YouTube account and you can chime in on the chat. When you chime in on the chat, you get entered into a prize drawing that we do at the end. We draw for 2 winners. And when I say we, I want to introduce you again to Miss Trisha Joseph. She's back with us. We've missed her. She couldn't be present the last 2 times we were live. But we had some confident and very successful moderators taking her place. So thank you to both Kayla and Susan for doing that the last 2 weeks. But yes, Trisha's back, and she's with us to answer questions during the live, to lead you in the right direction, that sort of thing. So if you have questions, just tag her in the post by putting the @ sign, which is the A with the circle around it, and then start typing her name immediately, Tricia. And it should pop up Trisha Josephs. You select it, and then she'll be able to see your comment or question right away. Comments from last time. Let's go ahead and bring those up. So I'm going to move you to my computer screen real quick. There we go. And we can see that we had lots of new participants in our live. So if you were new to my live last week, thank you for participating, and thank you for letting us know that you were new. I love seeing where people are from. I love it when you tell me what you're doing while you're watching the lives. Lots of different things. I mean, we all multitask, right? So it's fun to hear if you were eating something yummy or if you were exercising or gardening or whatever. So I loved seeing those. Also, let's see here. We had some people right next door. Tracy Harrell, is that how you say your name? You are in Coon Rapids. You're like my next door neighbor. Crazy. And then we had people all the way over in Denmark. Somebody was in South Africa last week. Very fun to see how we all can come together on the internet. I think there was another comment in here that I wanted to comment on, but I don't remember which one it was. Anyways, read through them. And then over on the right side, I loved how Caddy said mathematical card explosion. It really was last week, wasn't it? We made 42 cards from one pack of the Memories and More cards that are in the gingerbread and peppermint suite. It was so much fun. And then I loved Robin's idea of adding a photo on the inside of any of you could do that with any of your handmade cards. You just put a photo either on the front or on the inside. And then your card is just as special with a photo as anyone else's photo cards, right? Plus you've got that handmade little touch on it. Margaret suggested to have a pair of cheap scissors for cutting adhesives. I do have that. Yes, that's a great idea. And M&M stands for Memories and More. This little conversation was going on about how it was already on back order, which means the product, if you're going to the online store, here, we'll go ahead and put that up. If you're going to the online store and you're shopping for Stampin' Up! Product and you see a little message that pops up that says it's on back order, that means you can still get it. And unfortunately, though, this Memories and More pack sold out temporarily. So it's now unorderable or currently unavailable. So I checked it this morning to see if it was back up, but not yet. And I love Sherry's idea of adding the What's Cooking stamp set with it because that has some similar images. That was a great idea, Sherry. Let's see here. I think I'm starting to cover up some of these other ones. I'm going to shift my screen over. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'll just move my face. There we go. That's easier. Okay. Let's see. Samantha. Oh, yes. Okay, I'm going to show you that because I messed up. And then Krista also said, yes, it was a cooling rack, not a baking sheet. I kept calling it a baking sheet. So I will show you that too. Okay. And then from the week before, which I never got to the comments for until afterwards, thank you, Melanie, for mentioning that the darker metallic dots go with the silver brush foil cardstock. And then suggesting to tape the whole entire magnet for your Stamp-A-Rattuses, your Stamp-A-Rattus magnets, tape all the way around. And that way if they break, they're still held together. I thought that was genius. So let me move, oops, I didn't move my head. I'm gonna move my head back over here. There we go. So these are the cards, the last two cards that I did, or actually the last card I did. And you'll notice that this one was the way I wanted it to look, because all the rest were this way. And on this one, I actually taped it on opposite. So just, you know, just the way you taped it. I'm so sorry, you guys. This one was actually supposed to be on the inside. No, this is the one I had finished. This was supposed to be down first, put tape across, and then stick your card on. Anyways, I think a lot of you figured it out because it was only a couple people that commented. And this is the cooling rack. I call them baking sheets. They're not baking sheets. Oh my gosh. We're gonna feature the Blackberry Beauty Suite, the last two fun folds that I've created for that event I'm gonna do today with you. And you can see there's lots of fun goodies, fun products that come with this suite. Some beautiful, richly colored designer papers, beautiful ribbon, gold shimmer vellum, this ephemera pack, stamp set, and coordinating dies. Now the paper is currently unavailable. The ephemera pack is currently unavailable. And I believe this is either currently unavailable or back ordered, but just blame it on the pandemic, you guys. Stampin' Up! Is trying their best to get all this stuff from the shipping docks back to the warehouse for all of us. So let's begin. I'm going to show you the card. Okay, this is the first card that we're going to do. It's a gatefold card, and it holds together real nicely because it's magnetized. You can't see the magnets, but they're in there. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do that one first. Let's take out our trimmer. And for those of you that are new to stamping, this video might be a little overwhelming because I am doing, like, this would be called a casual crafter card. So somebody who's got a few things like the die cutting machine called the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. But the other one is like an advanced crafter card. Hang in there though and just watch and enjoy. Okay. All right. Something I forgot, I just realized, is my measurement supply list. So let me pull that up and we're going to switch to that really quick. Okay, so this is what you will be able to download. This video will go live on my blog at 4 p.m. today because I'm in a blog hop. So when you visit that blog post, the link is in the description of the video. When you visit it, you're going to be able to scroll down and click on names of other demonstrators from around the world who are also participating in this blog hop. And we're all going to feature projects that are made with the products in this suite. So this particular sheet, as you see it, will be able to be downloaded from that blog post at 4 p.m. Central Time or anytime after. And I've got the photo in there. I've got the date. Yay. Oops, I put 10/5. It's 10/6. But it's called Two Blackberry Beauty Fun Folds. And you can see I don't have the metric measurements in there. I'm sorry about that. We're doing 2 cards today. So I kind of got overwhelmed with how many things I was doing to get this post ready already. Sorry. But then on the left, you see the supply list. So you can see lots of different supplies are involved. After the one that says mini disc magnets, these supplies here, so I'll just highlight them. All of those pertain to the second card. That's not all we need for the second card, but those would be the extra supplies you'd need to bring in if you wanted to do the Avid Crafter card, okay? All right, we're gonna move back to the desktop. What's a blog hop? Judy, I love that question. That's great. So a blog hop is when a bunch of demonstrators who have blogs decide to link to each other's blog posts. So that allows people to hop from blog to blog, hence the name blog hop. And I know I asked the same question, and I was a demonstrator for years when I was asking this question. So I hope none of you feel stupid about that. Sorry. So yes, what you do is you click on someone's blog post that's in a blog hop. You see all the fun things that they're sharing, and then you scroll down, and sometimes there's a button that you click on, like a little image that says next. You can click on that. In our blog post, we have a list of names, and it's usually under everyone's signature area where they've finished off what they want to say and share. So you look there and you see a list of names, and you just click on anybody's name, like Kylie Bertucci. I know a lot of you know her. So you can click on her name, and it will go right to her post where she also uses this product and creates something with it. So yeah, you'll just get tons of ideas. I hope that helped. We're going to cut this cardstock in half to make our card base. This is our 8.5 by 11 cardstock, and we're going to cut it in half halfway through the 11-inch mark. So I'm bringing it up to the 5.5-inch mark, and I'm slicing with my dark blade. I've labeled my scoring blade with the word score so that I know that this is the one that's going to score, this is the one that's going to cut. Now I'm going to turn it this way, and I'm going to score it so that we can fold it into a gatefold. Now, normally you'd take a card and fold it over just like this, right? But we need to fold the flaps in. So mathematically, we need to take this measurement, which is 4¼ inches, and cut that in half so that we can fold a halfway door and then another halfway door on the other side. So 4¼ half of that is 2 1/8. Okay, so we're going to move it to the 2 1/8 inch mark, and I'm going to zoom in so you can see that on here. So here's my 2-inch mark, and my 1/8 inch mark is this one right here. So we're going to just bring it right to that spot, and we're going to score. Okay, now you can flip it around and score again, but the problem is you might get a minuscule little gap, or you might have a little overlap, depending, because sometimes cardstock is not exactly precisely cut to 8.5 by 11. Sometimes there's like a 32nd of an inch off. We try, right? But even machines aren't perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set that aside, and I'm going to just go ahead and fold this one in. I'm going to crease it with, or burnish it with my bone folder, and then I'm going to bring this side in and make it meet up so I can feel it connecting with the other side. I'm going to hold it, and I'm going to take my bone folder and slowly crease. And that's going to give me the most precise closure of my gatefold card, okay? All right, next, we're going to take the inside layers and show you what those measure. I'm sorry, the inside and outside. So this piece here is cut 1/4 inch in on the top and on the side. So it's 4 inches by 5¼ but when you move it to the middle, instead of 1/4 inch all the way around, it's 1/8 inch all the way around, okay? This will go on the inside of the card. And then this piece is not exactly that same size. It's actually 1/8 inch shorter. And that's gonna accommodate for the gap in the middle. So, because we want an 1/8 inch gap in the middle and 1/8 inch gaps on the side. So this piece is actually 3 7/8 inches wide. So there's a lot of math today. I'm apologizing in advance, okay? All right. Okay, so we're gonna cut this in half. Oh, and you know what? Let's emboss it first. So let's emboss this first because we might as well. That's what we're gonna do to get this look. We're gonna emboss the whole piece and then we'll just trim it. So I'm gonna bring in the handy dandy machine. That's a Blue's Clues thing, isn't it? Handy dandy. Is that Blue's Clues? I miss Blue's Clues. Okay, so we're gonna take and just bring in the platform. Sorry, I even have my little catalog out here to help me to remember the names of all of these things. This particular one is called the base plate, Rachel. Base plate is number 1. There you can see number 1 there. And then we also need this piece here, which is the specialty plate. It's for 3D embossing folders. And our embossing folder, which we're going to use from the January through June mini catalog, is in front of me. Oh, here it is. It's called Merry Melody. Okay, and you can see the musical notes. That's what it's going to look like. It's a nice big one and it's thick. So we're going to put our Blackberry Bliss cardstock in here. For those of you that aren't familiar with Stampin' Up, we have Blackberry Bliss cardstock to go with our Blackberry Beauty Suite. Isn't that fun? Blackberry, yummy. Okay, now anytime you crank through something for the first time or you're bringing it in straight on like an embossing folder, so you can see I brought it in straight on, you're gonna have a little bit of a hill that you have to climb over, so you gotta crank it. If you're cranking too hard though, it might be a sign that you've put your sandwich together incorrectly, so be careful too. All right, so we've got our embossed piece here. Then we're going to take and cut that in half. We'll move this away just temporarily because we need it back, but we want to cut 3 7/8 in half. So the way that I work that is I go 4 inches cut in half, which would be 2, and then I have 1/8 of an inch cut in half, which would be a 1/16. It was definitely Blue's Clues. Thanks, Elizabeth. So we're going to go from 2 back in 1 more 1/16 of an inch. So it's just shy of the 2-inch mark. So here's the 2-inch, here's the 1/16 inch right there. And we'll cut in half, and now we have 2 pieces. And you know what? This embossing folder is really funky in that you can't really tell what's up and what's down. Music is fun that way. Okay, so we've got that ready to go, and then we need to do a little bit of stamping. Then we'll be ready to roll and ready to assemble. So we're going to stamp the message on the inside, we're going to stamp this bird, and we're going to stamp that bird. So let's bring in our scrap paper and our stamp set, and we'll need our dies. These are the dies. Oops, I put it on the outside. The dies are called Beautiful Leaves dies. And that's my favorite of all of them. And then the Cling stamp set called Beauty of Tomorrow. That is way too close, Rachel. Beauty of Tomorrow. Okay, so we're going to stamp this sentiment. The sentiments in here are beautiful and very great for sympathy cards, just, you know, telling somebody that you love them, that kind of thing. Oh, I've already mounted my stamps. Okay, so we're going to grab our stamps. This is the one that has the fall saying, the changing of the leaves reminds us of the, you know, blah, blah, blah. Wonders just around the corner. We're going to use the Blackberry Bliss ink, which coordinates with the paper. Open it up like a compact. We're going to ink up our stamp. You can literally just set your stamp typically on your ink pads. We have very nice, soft, squishy ink pads. You don't have to pounce hard. Check the bottom to make sure the ink is all the way. And then you can take and stamp off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press this image onto my scrap paper, and then I'm going to stamp it onto the middle of my basic white. And that gives me a slightly lighter look. It doesn't look like I pressed very evenly. This is darker on that side. Oh well. Okay, now we're going to stamp the bird. That doesn't bother me. There's always 2 sides to your paper though, so if it bugs you, you can flip it over and do it again. But I thought that was fine. Maybe I have a really juicy ink pad. We're going to stamp the bird now. So we're going to stamp that with full color. We're going to close up our ink pad. We're going to grab the tuxedo memento. We're going to stamp that on some more scrap paper. Oh, look, I've already done that and I've die cut it. That's ready to go. So we just have to die cut this piece here. We'll bring those over there so we don't lose them. Bring this back in, and now we're going to create a different sandwich, okay? This is the one that's going to die cut, so we need the base plate and the, whatever this is called. I call it the die adapter plate. The die adapter plate, I'm not going to remember these names. Next time I'm not going to open the catalog. I'm just going to have like a little cheat sheet of names. And then we need our 2 cutting mats. And this is my scratchier of the 2, so I'm going to put that down first. I'm going to lay this piece on. And I'm going to use a Post-it note just because that makes it easier for me to make sure my dies don't move on me. I'm going to grab the coordinating die because we have framelit dies in here that coordinate with the images of the stamp set. And then we have some fun little detailed dies that you can use separately from the images. But framelits are fun because framelits allow you to not have to fussy cut. You don't have to take and, you know, take your scissors and try to get that image cut perfectly. So hopefully I lined this up perfectly and we can die cut it. You can crank in either direction. So now we've got our pretty little bird. Oh, I did that really well. Okay, so we got that ready to go. I'm going to set this over here. Okay, so now it's time to assemble. So we're going to bring in all of our pieces. We've got our base, we've got our inside layer, we've got our bird that's going to go on the inside layer. We have our 2 outer layers, and then you can see we're missing 2 other pieces here. Excuse me. These 2 pieces come from something called the Blackberry Beauty Ephemera Pack. Those pieces look like this. You can see there's a bunch of die cut pieces here. In the ephemera pack, you get 2 sheets of this and 2 sheets of this, and all these pieces just are die cut ready to punch out and go. And then you get 1 sheet of this, and then you get all these fun little pieces like that. So we're going to grab this one and our extra one from this sheet, our extra sheet here. And we'll put the rest aside for now. We will need that again on our second card. Then we need our magnets. So we're going to pull in magnets, and I do have a link to the magnets that I bought on Amazon. These are 8mm magnets. That means that's the diameter of them. We need 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you see how I'm putting them really far apart from each other? They are super strong. Let's grab our glue dots. Oh, I'm at the end of a roll. Hang on. Okay. We need our glue dots. Yes, we do. All right, so we're going to grab our Take Your Pick tool and our glue dots, and we're going to lift up one of our glue dots. And I think, excuse me, I think it's easiest to put the glue dots on the back side first. So I'm going to go ahead and lay this down as if my card has been closed. I've got my little glue dot there, and I've positioned it so that it will be in touch with another piece of cardstock in just a minute. Don't have it too far to the middle. I think I may have put that one too far to the middle. The next one, yeah, they're all gone. Okay. The next glue dot, let's put that one on. That one's going to go around the same place and about that far away. I might lift this one up. It's going to get covered up, so I'm taking that one off, and we're gonna do that again. It's nice to have a little garbage behind me. For those of you that know me, know I like to be neat and clean. All right, we're just moving that over just a tad. Okay, so now we've got our magnets on there. I'm sorry, our glue dots on there. And we can take our magnets now and we can put them onto those two spots. Because they're glued on, they're not going to come and connect to each other. Okay, those are nice and thin. They're super thin magnets. We can take and put this piece on next. So I'm going to grab my seal adhesive. Where did that go? Hold on. Okay. I have a special one just for my lives because it stays nice and clean. So we're going to put this one, or this paper, oops, come on out, over the top, like this on the inside, covering up those magnets. Okay, you can barely feel them because they're so thin. It's awesome. And then we want our little bird in there, so we're going to add our bird. And I just wanted the bird to have a little bit of a pop, which is why I die cut it, but you wouldn't have to for this card. You could totally just stamp it in there. But there's our bird. And now what we want to do is we want to connect magnets again. So you can see how that one just clung to its pair right there. It's clinging to it. So we know where to put our glue dot for the next magnet. So we're going to grab a glue dot. And the position of your magnet is important too. If we flipped it over, it would repel. It wants to go only one way. So figure out where your magnet is. You may even want to mark it with a pencil or something. I'm just going to lift this up and I'm going to stick this down right away. And there we go. Okay, I'm going to zoom in so you can see that a little bit closer. All right, next one. Let that one go on there. Grab our glue dot. It's clinging where it wants to go. And now I just lift this away, stick the glue dot down, and it comes back right where it wants to go. It's awesome. Now we can put these over the top. So I'm going to go ahead and just add adhesive across the back side. Isn't this fun? Oh, with this piece, by the way, I want to have about a 1/16 of an inch here where the black is showing, but an 1/8 of an inch on this side, because that'll give me a total of an 1/8 of an inch through the middle. So this one will now go, and I got to flip it around so that the image kind of connects with itself. That one's going to go here. And then I can put the handles on my door. So that's how I saw these things. They look to me like fancy door hanger or door, you know, like on a big, huge kind of church wall or something. So we're going to grab our dimensionals. We're going to put one here and one here. And then we'll do the same thing to the back side of this one. And I'm not putting any in the middle because we have magnets that are going to run underneath these door handles right through the middle. And we don't want to make that lift up any higher. So I've got them flipped around in opposite directions. And I'm just pasting them on like that and like that. And now you can see this looks like it's all nice and even, right? There's no lift to it or anything. Then we'll grab our gilded gems. And we're going to put a medium here and one right underneath. And I'll just show you the finished one because you can probably predict how the rest of it's going to go together. This bird, you want to put so it's going across the doors here, but it can only connect to one of the doors or you won't be able to open it. That would be bad. So I took and I just put a glue dot underneath the tail end and this portion of the wing. And that's how the bird got connected. You just want to remember to fold in your left door first and then your right door so that you don't accidentally, you know, hurt your bird. So that's that. Yay. Fun. That's that card. Okay, we're going to move on to the next card. The next card is a little bit more intense, so put your hats on, everybody. I'm going for a ride. This next card looks like this. I better put this over here so I remember to share that at the end. So watch this. This is fun. I actually got inspired from a Jennifer McGuire video. She was doing something with these little pop-out windows. And I thought, what Stampin' Up! Product could do the same thing? Well, this is not the ideal product. Let me just tell you that. I would not recommend remaking this card unless you are ready for some frustration. But I'm going to show it to you anyways, because I think it turned out gorgeous in the end, but I'm going to tell you the issues. First issue is the die is too big. We are going to take this die shape and we are going to put it against, and I'll just do it to my blue cardstock, we're going to cut it through the center of our white layer. But if you can see already, you're not going to have very much connection to the edges here. It's almost as if it could be cutting that white paper in half. We're going to give it a go. If I mess it up, I apologize. But then I'll just sit and explain the card. But our card base now is cut the opposite direction. So instead it's 11 inches long by 4¼ inches wide, which means the inside layer has to be just under that in order for that die to be held. So we're going to cut it not to 4¼ but to 4 3/16. Dun dun dun. Rachel's doing heavy math. Here's the 4¼ Here's the 4 3/16. This is also called, the 4¼ is also called 4 4/16. And if you do the math on that, you know that 4/16 is the same as 1/4, if you simplify your fraction. We're not doing 4/16, we're doing 3/16. So we're moving it to this spot, and we're gonna slice. Did I lose anybody yet? And then, in the other direction, we're going to cut off a 16th plus a 16th. So it's going to equal 1/8 of an inch removed. So instead of having an 11-inch, let's see if I can bring this into the camera. Instead of having an 11-inch long piece of cardstock, which is what it is right now, we're going to go in a 16th and another 16th. Okay? That brings it to 1/8 in, which is 10 7/8 now. Now we have to fold that in half. So to fold that in half, and you know what? This might be easier for all of you who hate math. Just trim it a little bit smaller. Just trim it a little bit smaller and you'll be okay. And then instead of scoring this, you can just fold it in half, okay? If you just cut your cardstock, both cardstock pieces, the white and the blue, the same size, but trim the white down just a smidge more on each side, and fold it in half, you should be fine, okay? But for those of you that love math, we are now going to score this. So half of 10 7/8 is 5 7/16. I love math. Okay, again, you could just take and fold it by hand. You could just go like this, connect the ends, and then crease it. It works that way too. I just love my math though. Okay, so here we go. We've got this piece ready to go and we need to die cut it. We're going to take that beautiful set of leaves. We're going to bring in our machine again. And where did my leaves go? Here they are, over here. This is the one that's got some really fun detailed leaves on it. And you can see it almost looks like there's veins in the leaves too that are supposed to be impressed into the cardstock. It will impress, but it's not guaranteed to, because we still don't have, there's a certain plate that Stampin' Up! Cannot get in yet. And again, blame it on the pandemic, because it makes sense. There's like, if you've been watching the news, there's all these delays at the shipping docks and issues like that. So there's a plate, number 8, the impression mat. It allows you to emboss with some of the dies too, and we do not have that yet, so you're not going to get that detailed look, and I apologize for that. But eventually, or if you have, you know, another brand's impression plate, that'll work too. But we're going to tilt this. I'm going to look at my finished card and make sure I'm tilting in the right direction. We're going to place it on there. Look at that. See? It's like right at the edge. It's kind of scary how little of space you have. And I'm going to shift it over just to make sure we've got it all in. That looks good to me. Put the other cutting plate on top. Okay, everybody cross your fingers that this will work. I have to flip it over too because it's a detailed die. So we're going to grab that whole sandwich, the cutting plates and the paper. We're going to flip it over and we're just going to guarantee that it has cut by cranking it back through this way one more time. And then the image on the inside should just fall away, which it's already starting to do. Yay. Be careful when you pull it off of here. And you want this inside layer too, so don't toss that. But look how fragile that piece is. Super fragile, right? Super fragilistic. Supercalifragilistic. That's what I wanted to say. Supercalifragilistic. Ah, I love this. Just drop it and all the little insides will come out. Or use your die brush adapter and then you can clean up that. All right, here we go. We'll see what we can do. So here's our base. This is the piece that's going to go on the inside. It's very flimsy. We have some pieces from the ephemera pack that we're going to pull out now. We're going to take out this one. We're going to take out this one. Then we're going to do the same thing with this sheet. Crazy. Sorry, it's a mess here. I will clean this up when this goes as a prize to somebody because I am giving away the rest of my ephemera pack since it is currently unavailable. I could not purchase one as a prize. I was going to do that. But this person's just going to get leftovers from 2 packs instead of 1 full pack. Sorry, but you won't get these pieces. That's the downfall. So I'm using up the owls. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and... lots of dust on my table. We're going to go ahead and start adding. And I'm going to look at my finished one as we do this because I know it's cheating, but it's going to help me out because I seriously, it took me probably a couple hours to really make sure that this card pulled together. So we're going to just lay this on here and then we're going to see if we can just assign it to this spot. So I recommend the Tombow Multi-Purpose Liquid Glue. Okay. Elizabeth asked a question, wonder if it's the quality of the paper that keeps the die from cutting all the way through. I don't think so. No. Personally, I don't think so. I think Stampin' Up! Carries the highest quality paper. I think it's just a matter of sometimes you have really detailed dies and sometimes you have like 1/100th of an inch off on some of your sandwich, your pieces for your machine. Everyone's machines have a slight variation to them, so you can experience that type of issue. Now, my die actually did cut all the way through on that paper, but I've been teaching people how to correct that if they have issues with their own detail dies. So I try to flip them over, but mine did connect, just so you know. Okay, we're going to stick this down. And we're going to let that dry. And obviously I put glue where I didn't need to, so we can just trim that off. That does not need to be in here, causing a gooey mess. I'm just going to take that away. And then I want one on the other side. So you can see it's already made it more stable. And then we're going to just score right through it. The other piece, let's see here. I'm not sure exactly where I grabbed it from, but I think I grabbed it from this side. So we're going to flip this over. And we're going to trim. I'm just going to come right along here and trim right up to that spot. Okay, now we're going to open it up and we're going to do the other side. So this piece, yep, that's where it came from, is going to connect over here. And we're just going to cover up that little spot that's real, like it's just going to break if we don't do it. So we're going to cover it up like that and we're going to connect by putting glue on all of these little spots. I need a new glue thing. Mine is running out. All right, that looks good. Okay, and then we're just going to lay that down right across that spot, like that. We're going to allow this to dry. And we can snip off any pieces that we don't like this one here kind of bugs me, so I'm going to snip that out of the way. What else do I not like? I don't want this one in here. And yeah, might as well get rid of this one too. There, now we have an opening that's wider. And look at that, I actually die cut the wrong direction. Or maybe I die cut in the right direction, but I flipped around where I was placing those pieces from the ephemera pack. It doesn't matter, it'll still work. So the next step is to stamp the inside. So you see how this image is stamped here and we don't have any little fold marks on it? So you want to take your Night of Navy ink and ink up your stamp and stamp that across that area now before you fold it. So we'll just set that like that. And we'll close this. And now we can do some scoring. We're not going to do it quite yet. I want this to dry just a little bit more. Okay, let's go to the front side of the card right now and we can work on that. So the front side is made of a couple layers on top of the front of the card. So we're really building on the Night of Navy layer first. The first thing I actually want to do is I want to emboss my sentiment, because once I start sticking things down with glue and all of that, if I then go in with a heat tool, I can cause some warping or some problems with my adhesive working. So we're going to bring in our Versamark ink pad. We're going to bring in our white Stamp and Emboss powder, which I've put into like a little container like this because it's easier for me. And then we'll use our stamp. And our stamp image says, I know this is a difficult day. And the thing with, I'm still off to the right, aren't I? I'm sorry, you guys. The thing with this stamp is it has some spots in it that I don't want to stamp down. Now you could do, they call it stamp surgery or whatever, you could cut your stamp, but I still want to be able to say, I know this is a difficult day, and so I'm going to cover up the word a and the word day, so that at this point I'm not going to actually have that on this card. I'm never good about getting my cards out on time. I should say I'm rarely good about that. Sometimes I'm good. So we're going to cover up the word a and day. Okay, so now it just says, I know this is difficult. We're going to ink that up with our Versamark ink pad. So I've got clear sticky ink on here. I'm going to check at an angle so I can make sure I can see all the ink on there. And then I'm going to peel away these pieces of tape because we don't want them. Put those in the garbage. Okay, now I'm going to stamp this down in the lower right corner. And I'm covering that pad up out of the way because I don't want to get powder onto it. The powder likes to cling. So there we go. We're just dumping it on top. Now if you have one of those anti-static embossing pads or pouches, you can go ahead and put that over the top first. We used that last week. Stampin' Up! Used to sell them. They no longer do that. But as long as you don't touch your cardstock a lot with, you know, wet, moist fingers or whatever, you should have an okay image ready to heat with your heat tool. So we'll put our powder off to the side. We'll grab our heat tool and we're just gonna get it going for a minute. I'm putting it on high and I'm aiming it down away from me so that it gets to its highest heat. And then I'll bring it in and we're gonna go right over the top. And I'm wiggling it back and forth so that the heat isn't just gonna like scorch one area of the cardstock. If you move it a little bit and you go on the back side and the front side, it tends to, oh, there we go. You can see it getting whiter. Okay, it's brightening up. That means I'm heating it. And then you pull it away once the whole area looks like it is all embossed. You just have to kind of angle it sometimes to make sure. Yep, that's good to go. So now we have a sentiment that I can give at any time, even after someone has, you know, had their day. So let's bring in this piece. Now this is an already pre-cut or pre-die cut piece from that large die, obviously. And I'm not sure exactly how I added, where I added it from. Let's see, oh, I think I got that piece right there. So we're just gonna take this and we're gonna glue it on. So I'm just adding a bunch of little spots of glue here and there. Doesn't have to be on every little spot, but just enough to connect with the cardstock, because we're going to have something on top of it too. So just as long as you've got a little bit of connection there, the least amount of glue is always the best amount of glue. Oops, is that the side? Did I flip it again, you guys? I don't know. Oh, there it is. Okay, it goes right about there. I'm trying to make it the same. It's not going to be exactly the same. Oh, that got pretty close though. Now we'll go ahead and cut. Actually, let's just give it a little bit of drying time for a minute. Here's the white. So the white piece also was used on my card. And I think what I did on this one is I just tucked little pieces up underneath. I'm not sure. Oh no, it was there. It was that corner. So let's take and add some adhesive to those spots. And let's connect that on top of that. So let's actually cut here first. Cut fast though, because we just glued that piece, Rachel. Always make sure you're ready to go before you put the glue on, because that glue can dry fast. There we go. That's going to go in this corner right about there. And then we'll trim that up. And anything extra that's falling off of here is going to be able to embellish the inside of my card. So the window, if you recall, had parts where some of the purple leaves or the Blackberry beauty leaves were peeking through. This piece is set on here on dimensionals. So at that point, I would just put a few dimensionals behind a few key areas like that. Peel off the backings. And let's make sure we got it there. Set that down, just like that. We'll trim it. And these pieces, actually, I used on the inside of the card too. So we're using the back side as a guide when we trim up. And now we've got that whole layer ready to go, except for the owl. So the owl, you can see, is attached after I've put the whole card together. So we're going to stick this onto the white using our seal adhesive. It's a new one. There we go. That's going to go on here. And then the other one, and we've got like just like a 1/16 of an inch all the way around, because these two layers fit together that way. And then we're going to add this to the front of the card, and I don't think I'm adding that quite yet. So let's set our owl and this piece off to the side. Let us grab the inside piece again, and in here you can see we added just a few more leaves there and a couple there. So we'll just take these guys and we'll add this one tucked up. Actually, we'll just glue them both at the same time. And this one. Rachel's doing fast stamping today, you guys. All right, so that's going to get just tucked kind of in this spot here. Oh, you can't see it. Zoom out, Rachel. It's getting attached right down here in line with the rest of that card, just to kind of take care of that one spot that was really weak there. And then this one's going to get tucked in up here, just to kind of balance it out like that. Okay, we score. We're going to grab our trimmer. We're going to come back and we're going to score. This is where you want to score at a really nice measurement amount. It's 2 3/4, okay? So this card goes into the 2 3/4 inch mark. It's okay if you're going to go right through a little portion of the window. I'm peeling off glue. Do you see that? It's okay. We can go right through that little portion of the window. We're also going to score at that halfway point again, which in this case is the 5 7/16 inch mark. So just under 5.5. We're just gonna re-emphasize those two little bends right there, and we'll flip it around and we'll score again at 2 3/4. Right there. Alrighty, I'm gonna fold this in. We're gonna fold this out. And we're gonna fold this in, being really careful. So what kind of dies would I recommend for a pop-out window card like this? Ones that are smaller, like maybe an oval or a circle or something like that. But I just had to try it because this is just such a stunning suite of products. So now what we do is we check it out. We fold this into like a sandwich little thing here. We can always take care of extra gluing once we've attached it, but you're going to place it inside your card where it will look the best. I'm going to place it right here, okay? So that means I need to glue, and I think I'm going to use this glue, the tape runner glue, because tape runner glue allows me to lift up if I really, really have to. The wet glue is a little more permanent. So we're going right up to that blue edge. Do you see that? It's going right up all the way around, right to that blue edge. And we're going to do the same thing to this side. And we're going to close it down. We're going to open it up, and we're going to check the alignment here. Now I might want to shift this just a little bit. There we go. And check it. Oh, this is good. This is better than my first one. Okay, now the thing that you want to check at this point is all of your connections. So here you can see this part just needs to have some extra glue on it. So we're just going to put a little drop there. I am really low on this glue. There we go. I have another one. I just haven't opened it. Okay, so there's that. Now this owl can go on the inside of your card. And if you look at this, I stuck him on the inside right, but you could really put him anywhere, okay? He could go anywhere. So this would just get placed on the inside where he's best going to be seen. And I kind of like him right about there. Then you trim off that excess wing there. So, oops, I'm going to flatten it so I can trim it. So at this point, you can actually put this piece on, okay? We've done all of this adding of that inside layer, so you can take this layer now and add it to the front of your card, like that. And then we can grab the other owl and make that one go flying through this front. And he's positioned like that with his wing going off the second blue edge. So we'll just go up and trim. You would at this point then just add some stars in there. You can add some more of your Blackberry Beauty leaves in there. Use the multi-purpose liquid glue. I added some of the leaves on the inside here too, so they're on the inside section there. They're hidden, so you can't really tell that they're not really fully connected all the way on the inside. They're just kind of stuck in there, so that when you open it up, it's like a wow, you know? So what are the stars? Let me show you the stars really quick. Those are from the Cute Stars Adhesive Back Sequins. I used the purplish ones, which have kind of a purple-blue hue to them when they're connected to that one card. That's it. I think I did it. I think I did 2 fun folds in an hour. Crazy. Okay, let me tell you a little bit about, I'm going to move this out of the way here. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the news. I have some Stampin' News clearance rack that has been refreshed. So if you have not ever visited the Stampin' Up! Store, the clearance rack is a great place to visit because you can get things that have been retired but brought back because we had a surplus of it. You can get them for like up to 60% off. So you'll want to visit stampyourartout.com and click on the shop button, and then you'll be able to shop. I've also got a shop link in the description of my video. If you are a demonstrator or you have a demonstrator of your own, shop through yourself or through them, please. I'm just here because I love to share. What else did I want to talk about? So the clearance rack, and then it's down here. And then the other thing is Eden's Garden. So I'm going to bring that into view. Okay, this is a new collection of products that will be coming out soon for everybody. And right now I just have in front of you the stamp set called Eden's Garden and the dies, the coordinating beautiful dies. Gorgeous stuff, just gorgeous. I'm a leaf fan. I love leaves, I love butterflies, I love greenery, so this is totally up my alley. Look at the designer paper. This is so pretty, and it's gold foiled. You get 12 sheets of 12 by 12. This will be made available, by the way, November 4th, so you can't get it yet. But I wanted to put it on your radar because I don't want you to not know about it. Put it on your radar. My friend in Upline, Susan Camfield, was mentioning how this would make really pretty Christmas cards too. So gorgeous stuff. This paper is going to be limited time. It's only available for supplies, through supplies lasting or through January 3rd. It will not carry over into the new, we call it the spring catalog here in North America, but the new January through June catalog. But these two items will, the Eden's Garden stamp set and the dies. This bundle will be available in the new catalog. So this is early release, this is exclusive, and then two other products which are exclusive. One I don't have in my hands yet because it's not available for us demonstrators. But the other product is called cotton paper. And at first glance I thought it was tissue paper. It is not. It's even closer to like handmade or mulberry paper. It's got a real nice grain going through it. It's not flimsy. It's gorgeous. You get 10 sheets, 5 of each of the colors, soft succulent and evening evergreen. And obviously it coordinates. So you can do some really, really pretty delicate paper tricks with that. And the last thing I wanted to share, my notes are down. Oh, I've got it all. I shared it all. That's it. So we're going to do some prize drawings now. So let me bring in, hang on. I'm going to bring in the prizes that I'm going to draw, or that we're going to draw for today. And then I'm going to grab the prize from last week because I've got a winner to announce from last week. Where is that? Oh, here it is. Okay. So let's draw for last week first. I can bring you back to my table again. Last week's winners got a half a pack of the cards and envelopes. They got a half a pack of the Memories and More cards, and they got a third of a roll of the ruffled ribbon. So those people claimed those prizes last week, but we always have an after live winner. So if you commented after the live, your name went into a drawing. I've got the winner pulled up here, so I'm going to go to our computer screen now, and it's Patty H. So if your name is Patty H and you made this comment, this was a fun video, love your creativity, thanks Rachel, then message me, make sure that you reach out. My email address is stampyourartout@comcast.net. So the prizes that we're going to draw for now, and I'm just going to go back to the desktop. Okay, here we go. So you get choices, and the first to contact me gets the first choice. I have a new Merry Medley embossing folder. I have a new pack of Gilded Gems, and I have leftovers from my 2 Blackberry Beauty ephemera packs because I couldn't get a fresh pack. So not all the pieces are in here, but you have like twice as much of some of the other pieces. Then in addition to that, each winner is going to get a little sampler of the magnets that I bought off Amazon. I do have a link in my blog post or in my video so that you can get a hold of some of your own magnets if you'd like to. So All right, so yes, congrats to Patty. I'm gonna go ahead and check my little live thing here and see if we've got, oh, there we go. See if, yes, Trisha has named them. It is Marsha Spikeman and Meredith, oops, it scrolled. It scrolled, hang on, I gotta try to scroll back. Meredith Small. My computer's way far away from me today. So congratulations to Marsha Spikerman and Meredith Small. Make sure that you reach out to me with my email addresses sitting up there, stampyourartout@comcast.net. One more thing that I want to mention before I go, and again, yes, congrats to the winners. A big thanks to Trisha, and a big welcome to all of you who are new. Make sure that you click that like button, by the way, and subscribe if you can. I do want to mention that we have a new kit that just became available today. It's the Christmas Tags kit, and it is called Love, Santa Tag Kit. Love Santa. And it's a tag kit. I'll show it to you. It's right up on my screen. It's so cute. Look at these adorable tags. So if you click on that, you can see. So it's a $19 kit. You get the stamp set, you get the little ink pad with it, you get a clear block, and you're able to make these beautiful tags. And then if you want to, you can even purchase, which just was made available today too, these fun little gift bags that are food safe. So you can pop in some little food in there, and then you can put together some fun little treats with those Christmas tags. So very adorable. Very fun. Great for beginning crafters, by the way, the Kits collection. Highly recommend the Kits collection. On that note, I'm going to let you all go. I talked fast today. Did you notice? I was excited to share and on a high because my Facebook page is back to normal. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Now I'd like you all to go and stamp your art out. Bye-bye.